Today we're on brochod daf nun ches Amud base. I believe we're in the wide lines, right smack in the middle of the wide lines, give or take. Amar Rav, you got it? I'm right? I'm right, Amar Rav. A person only forgets about someone who died after 12 months. Okay. He brings a pasuk with Papa Rafuna, Brady Yeshua. So with Papa and Rafuna, the son of Yeshua, they're going down the road. Pogel Bay, they bumped into Rav Chanina Brady Rika. They bumped into Rav Chanina, the son of Rika. And what happened? Amulei. So Rav Papa and Rav Huna were the two Gedolim. They were the two greats of that generation. They were the two Gedolim. They bump into this. It's a bit of a sad story over here. Be brace for impact. So they bumped into this Chanina Bareder of Ika, right? So Amalei Badi Chazinach Bachinach Halach Kazi. Now that we see you, we're going to bless. We're going to make two brachas. Baruch Hashechalak B'Chachmas L'Reyav. So this Rav Chanina was a Chacham. So you make the bracha. Baruch Hashechalak B'Chachmas L'Reyav. You make the blessing. Thank you, Hashem, for giving from your wisdom to those that fear you. V'Shechiyanu. They made another bracha, Shechiyanu. They were happy to see him. They made this bracha, Shechiyanu. Omelahu. They said to him, Ana nami kivit chazitinu, chashvininu aloi keshisin, Ribboin, Beis Yisrael. Ubechina alaychu talasa. So he said back to them, now that I see you, right? Kivit chazitinu, chashvitinu aloi. I've accepted upon myself. I treat you as if keshisin Ribboin Beis Yisrael, like 600,000. You two are like 600,000. So I'm going to make for you, I'm going to make on you three brachas. The first two we just saw, Shechiyanu, and Shechalak Chachmos L'Reyav. Thank you, Hashem, for giving your wisdom to those that fear you. And a third bracha. What's the third bracha? Chacham Harazim. When you see 600,000 people, you make this bracha. Chacham Harazim. He knows, he's the Chacham that knows the secrets. He knows what's going on in everyone's heart. So he was saying, you're so great. I'm going to make also bracha of Chacham Harazim. Now, even though you're one person, but you know so much, it's like you know what 600,000 people know. You got the same Chachma, you got the same depth as 600,000 people. Unbelievable thing. Wow. So they said back to him, Amaluhu. This is where it gets sad. Amaluhu. Till now it was good. We understand, right? Amaluhu. They said to him, Chakim Kulahai. You're that smart. So it's a bit of machlek is what that means. In other words, how do you know? So the Mefarshim explain that how did he know that they were such chachamim? Well, there's a few things. In order for you to know that someone's the smartest person in the world, right? You have to be a tremendous chacham. You have to know all the chachmas yourself. You're saying, I know all the chachmas. I'm as smart as it comes. I know everything. And you are also so great. You also know everything. So I can make this chacham harazim. Some of us say they didn't know him personally. He didn't know them personally. But he was using chacham as He was looking at their face. And based on their face, he saw that they were these Chachamim, he was this Chacham that knew everything. So he said, wow, how do you know that from Chacham V'Sapatzach? How do you know that from just looking at our face? You willing to make another bracha? Chachim Esulagai, you're so smart. You know that just from looking at a guy's face. Either way, they didn't like it. Either because some say it's because it was tremendous gaiva to say such a thing, that I know how smart you are, or that he was Meir Halacha B'fnei Rabbi. They were the Gedolim. Even though he was a rabbi, you're not allowed to paskin a shayla. Now, he made up this new din. He paskin the shayla in front of the Rav. You can't go ahead and just paskin, make up your own Torah in front of the Rav. You've got to ask him, can I make the bracha? Right? Don't decide for yourself. It's a chutzpah, it's some type of gaiva. In other words, it's the churban of Yiddishkeit. It sounds. I'm giving the hezbollah before I tell you what happens. I'm giving the hezbollah because it's so radical. Like the guy goes like, "Wow, I just make a bracha on you," and he gets this tremendous einish. But the idea is that if you don't have a Messiah who's the leaders of Klal Yisrael, if every single shnuk gets up there and says, I'm going to decide for Klal Yisrael, I'm going to make the decisions over here. It's my choice. I'm going to decide what the shul does, not the rabbi. Let the rabbi, he doesn't know what he's talking about, right? That's the end of Yiddishkeit. That's the destruction. That's democracy. You need to have a clear-cut rules, who's in charge. He makes the choices, and it's a chutzpah to go ahead in front of him and say, no, I think we should do this. Who are you to open your mouth? So what happened? They said, you know so much. Yov be'enai v'shalchiv. They looked at him, and he died. That's what the story says. So in other words, either because he was acting with gaiva, haughtiness, or because, in other words, I know the whole Torah, and I know that you know the whole Torah, so it's a tremendous gaiva, or because they were like, some may even say they were jealous of his, they had chalishas, they were jealous from his chokhmah, they were jealous that he knew how to see a person's tchunas from his face. Either way, it's clear from this gemorah, according to many Mefarshim, that you can see on someone's face basically everything about them, all the secrets of a person, how much wisdom he has, it's all written on your face. Chokhmah separative. I think this is the first time it comes up in Shas, that it's all on this person's face. Do we make this brochod of Chacham Morazim today? So many Mefarshim say we don't make the brochod today of Chacham Morazim on a Chacham. If you see someone that's tremendous Chacham, you don't say Chacham Morazim. Why not? So some say because nowadays there's no Chachamim. Nowadays we're not on this tremendous level of Chachma. No one has that level of Chachma that you make this brochod of Chacham Morazim. Even some Amoraim, you didn't say it back then on. You had to be Rav Papa in order to be Zeichet Chacham Morazim. But nowadays there's no one Zeichet, that's one Malach. Others say since this guy, Rav Chanina, died because of it, he made this bracha and he died, so we don't do it. It's dangerous, there's like some type of sakana there. In other words, don't go ahead doing it, because what you're going to start deciding, you're going to decide who's the Chacham Morazim, like, it's messy. It gets messy. Others say, the Torah says, we do make this bracha. It's a bracha. You see, he made the bracha, Chacham Morazim. If you see someone that's a Chacham, like, the nose kala tar kala, you have to make a Chacham Morazim. Others say no. I think Sofik Brachas Lahakel, there is stories about certain Gedalim, they met each other, they wanted to say Chacham Morazim. I don't remember if they said the Chacham Morazim or not, but it could be also, right? I know 1,000. In other words, you're right, we're tremendous Chachamim, right? But to say that we know what 600,000 people know, all the days of all the what's called, in other words, you're right, they're tremendous Chachamim. But don't go ahead and be Mazal in 600,000. 600,000 is like a lot of people. There's a lot of Chachma out there, right? With thousands of Talmid Chacham including them, or hundreds of thousands of Talmid Chacham including them, right? Okay, maybe that's a shot. I didn't say anyone was saying that. Says the Gemara, Amr Shuban Levi. Okay, new sugya. Amr Shuban Levi, Harayas Habakonim, Oime Baruch Meshana Abriyas. You see someone that's a Ba'akan, you say Meshana Abriyas. Rashi says it means that they have some type of, for lack of a better word, freckles, but I don't think it's freckles, but something that looks like freckles, where the skin shines between these like lentils that appear on their face, that type of thing. Maybe it is freckles, I don't know, but something like that, right? They've got like some type of adashim on their pigmentation on the skin. Maybe it's a very extreme type of freckles, that type of thing. Now you thank Hashem for making all sorts of different people. Well, what's this broch of Meshana Brias? In other words, Hashem could have made everyone look exactly the same. Hashem could have made all the animals be exactly the same. One type of tree, one type of fish, one type of what's called. Instead, he made thousands of types of tuna fish. There's millions of different types of fish. There's billions of people. Everyone looks different. It's part of the Chacham Arazim, how his Chachma, he's able to make everyone different in so many different variations and types. It keeps you wondering. It keeps you, excited, praising Hashem. So you make this bracha, Baruch Meshana Brias. Thank Hashem for creating such variation. So many different things. Maybe realize a kushi. Someone sees someone that's a kushi. Before I mean someone that's not regular black, but someone that's very dark black. Vesa chigor. Someone who is chigor, Rashi says, is Odom Harba. Someone's very red, Rush, Rashi says. Odom, Rouge. I guess rouge in French is red, right?
Red, yeah.
Rouge. So I'm not sure what that means exactly. Mamish, someone that's red, or someone that's, redneck, someone very red. We're going to see it means from birth. Someone that's born very red. That's a loikan, a lovkan. That means someone who's exceptionally white. I guess albino. That's a kipeach. Kipeach is someone who's got a huge stomach. That's what Mepharshim explained. I'm not sure. I guess it means from birth, as opposed to just he ate a lot.
It says here obese.
A what?
Obese.
Obese. Someone's very big, yeah. There's a nanas. So a midget, someone's very small. There's a darnikum. What should I say? It was darnikum. So Rashi's darnikum is loshenacha pivakum. Rudas. Someone's got a wonky mouth. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Is it mouth sideways? The Aymer Baruch Mashana Bris. You make this bracha. I don't think obviously you got to be careful not to insult the guy, and you shouldn't say out loud, "Hold on, let me make a bracha on you." But in your head, you quietly thank Hashem for making all sorts of different things out there. Vesa kiteya, vesa suma, vesa psuya rosh. Kiteya is someone that's lost arms. Vesa suma is someone that's blind. Vesa psuya rosh. Now psuya rosh, Rashi says, I didn't know this thing exists even. He says that a person's hair all sticks together. There's such a thing where your hair sticks together. It's like a natural phenomenon. The hair follicles can be shaped wrongly, wonky, in triangles, and the hair follicles, the hair all sticks together, or something like that. Vesa chiger. Chiger is if someone is he lost his legs. Vesa mukashchen. Someone that's got he's inflicted with boils, pimples. Vesa b'chaim. And now we get back to b'chaim. These freckles. I'm a brochod dynamis. So here it says you say on the freckle guy brochod dynamis. Well, thank Hashem for being the good judge. But then it says you say Mishana Bria. So what is it? Like kasha if it happens to him after he's born, right? If he's born with it, it's Mishana Bris. You create him like that. If it happens after he's born, you say Baruch Mishana Bris. Rashi says it's coming as a punishment for something. That's why it happens to him. So you don't make a Baruch Mishana Bris. He was born normal. That happened to him afterwards. All these cases similar to Kiteya, where he lost his limbs. All these things happened after he's born. He wasn't born without the limbs. He lost it. Do it again. Torah. Haraya pill the kaif. I'm a Baruch Mishana Bris. You see a monkey and an elephant. You make this bracha of Baruch Mishana Bris. You made all these wonderful different creatures. Raya Bria is Toivais. You see beautiful creatures. Vilona is Toivais. You see beautiful trees. Aimer Baruch Shukach Alei B'Olam. You say, thank you, Hashem, that you've created such a beautiful world. You have this in your world. So, that means also if you see someone beautiful, you see a beautiful person, you say Baruch Shukach Alei B'Olam. And I think Mepharshim say, the Ravid says, you only make it once. No, if you see someone pretty, or you see a beautiful tree outside your house, you don't make a Baruch Mashana Shukach Alei B'Olam every time you see it. The first time you see an olive tree, it's beautiful. First time you see it, make a bracha. Shukach Alei B'Olam. It doesn't mean every time you see it, make a bracha. Some say if you haven't seen it for 30 days, you make a bracha. Some say if you, whatever, a year. But there's different. But the Pasha Pshat is, I think, if it's the first time you've ever seen it, say Baruch Shukach Alei B'Olam. Ala zikin. Now what's zikin? Zikin is lightning. Ala zikin, my zikin, I'm a Shmuel. What is, sorry, zikin is not lightning. Ala zikin, you make a bracha, we saw. Right? My zikin, what is a zikin? Oma Shmuel, kuchva the shovet. A shooting star. You see a shooting star, you make based on my separations, on a zikin. Now listen to this. Oma Shmuel. Nihirin li shvili de shmaya keshvili de nadai. I know the roads in heaven. I know the movements of the stars, the constellations, where everything goes. Like I know the roads of Nadai. He lived in Nadai, in Bavel. I know exactly which stars, where is it going. Like I know the roads in Nadai. I know it back to front. The Vam the Shavet. I have no idea what's going on with the shooting star. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. It's not part of the regular constellation. I have no idea what's going on over there. The Gemiri. And I was told, the loy of a kisla, this shooting star doesn't go past kisla. V'yava kisla charva alma. If it goes past kisla, the wall will be destroyed. What's kisla? Kisla is one of the star signs. Ksil, the fool. It's one of the star signs of the zodiac. I think there's like 12 signs of the zodiac. So if it goes past the kisla, it's the whole world will be nechrav. I guess what it means is that you got the shooting star. Once it gets into the atmosphere, if it hits the planet, it ain't gonna be. It's not pretty. In other words, you understood that it's something very dangerous. There's a shooting star. It's mafrid. It's dangerous. Mm-hmm. Keep it away. It's fine. But he has no idea what's going on, why it happens, when it happens. This is zivo. We see that we see the light going past Kisla. We see that it does, come in front of it. Now, I'll be honest with you, this is very complicated gemorah. I have no idea what all this stuff means, but we're saying it anyway. We'll go through it. It looks like, we see it goes past. Zivo da'ava, the light of the shooting star, looks like it's going past. Right? But it doesn't really go past. Zivo da'ava, mischazik da'ava. It looks like it's gone past, but really it hasn't gone past. If it goes past, wall's destroyed. Yeshua Amar, he says, sorry, it looks like it's gone past, but it didn't really. Yeshua Amar, it's tearing like this, some type of curtain in Shemayim. It's tearing it, and you'll see the light from behind this torn curtain. Whatever that means. You're seeing the light from behind the key. In other words, Ravashi Amma Kuchvuhu Da'aka Mahagisa. Sorry, Kuchvuhu Da'aka Mahagisa to Kisla because Echavri Mahagisa. It's not really going from one side to the other. Really, there's one star here, something here, something here, and you're seeing it here, and then you're seeing it there. But it's really two different things, and they're connected with each other. And as soon as this one lights up, you end up seeing it over there. But really, it's not going through the ziva, through the kisla. Sorry. Okay,
what's kisla again?
It's one of the star signs. I think it's the fool. Maybe what's it called? Orion, I think. Something like that. It's Orion. Mm-hmm. So, I think. Okay. Just it gives a impression that it's gone through, but really it's not coming past. Shmuel Rami. Shmuel has a contradiction. He makes these three star signs: Osh, Ksil, V'chima, and then it says the other way around. He makes first Kima, then Ksil. So which one is it first? Which one's closer to us? Kima or Ksil? So the gemorah says, if it wasn't for the heat of the star sign Ksil, the wall wouldn't be able to exist because of the cold that comes out of Chima. So the Chazal telling us there's a tremendous balance in the universe. There's equilibrium between the heat and the cold of Ksil and Chima. Some of them are boiling hot and some of them are freezing cold, and you need both. If it wouldn't be for the cold of Tina, you wouldn't be able to survive because of the heat coming out of Ksil. As we know, some planets are thousands of degrees or millions of degrees, and some of them are freezing, and maybe it's Chazal saying there's something to balance it. The Gemiri. And there's another thing I was taught. Now, it seems to be a machlekes if this is talking about star signs or if this is talking about the real thing. If a scorpion didn't sit by the Nahar Dinar, which is very warm, then its bite, the bite of an akrav, would kill anyone. It always be bitten by a scorpion would be dead straight away. So the heat actually destroys its poison slightly and weakens it enough that you can live. And the Mepharshim say that's a refuah for a scorpion bite is heat it up, put boiling water on it, burn yourself thoroughly, and that will that'll take care of it. This is what the Hashem said to Eov. Hiskasher madonos kima. Did you ever connect chima and moishches ksil to Pasach? Okay, I'm not sure what he's bringing from the Pasuk exactly. I don't know how to be Darsh's Psukim. Chazal understood this, but I don't. But he told Eov, do you know how to connect chima and ksil? Now these two things, they work together. You know how to connect these things? That's what he's saying to Eov. You know how to balance the world with chima and ksil? So my chima, what is this chima? Amashmul kumer kechovi. Yeah, it's the first time you see in Chazal, they're telling us this star sign, well, it's called chima because there's like 100 stars. It means there's many, many stars. You think you see like a handful of them, really hundreds. Some say the mechanfi, they're all squished together. And some say they're incredibly far apart. It just looks like they're close together. So we have a machlekes here. My Osh, what is this Osh? This star, this constellation Osh? Amar Yehuda, Yuta. You know what Osh is? Osh is Yuta. So it says, my Yuta. Okay, great. You told me it's Yuta. My Yuta. How does that help me? What's Yuta? Omila Zonav Tleh. It's the tail of the star sign. Tleh is what? A ram, Aries. So you see these groups of stars, it's the tail of Aries. V'amilan says, no, it's not the tail of Aries, Reish Gola. It's the head of the bull, it's the head of Taurus. The star sign Taurus. So some say, no, it's not that, it's the head of Taurus. Mustafa Da'amar command Da'amar Zonav Tleh. It's more likely that it's really the end of the Aries, the tail of the Aries, as opposed to the head of the Taurus. So you have a pasuk that's what it means. In other words, like, you know, I don't know, what I take out of the gemorah is it's clear that there's such a thing called star signs. In the gemorah, in time of Chazal, they had these 12 star signs connected to 12 shvatim, first gemorah. And the question is, are these stars, are they part of that star sign, are they part of that constellation? You know, what's going on? Gemorah itself debates. So it says Gemorah, Alma chasra or mischazia ketarfa. In other words, V'hai does the basra, Amala havli bonai. It's heading behind it and it's saying, give me my kids. I don't know what it means. So it says the Gemorah, when Hashem wanted to destroy the world with the marble at the time of Noach, right? So what happened? He took out 2 stars from Chima, this constellation, and that's how the marble came to the world. I don't think the Gemara means to say that it came through those 2 holes, because the Gemara says, it says in other places the water came up, it rained, but for whatever reason, those 2 stars, that's what holding the whole thing in place. As soon as you took those stars away, the marble happened, right? Because when Hashem wanted to stop the marble, he took 2 stars from a different constellation, Ayish, and he blocked those 2 holes. So Gemara asks, why didn't you just put the same 2 stars back? You took 2 stars, give those 2 stars back, right? Why are you taking 2 stars from another place? Gemara says a principle, we've seen this before, you can't fill up a bar. If you take out dirt from a bar, you can't fill up with that dirt again. It's never going to be enough. Once you take something out, you lose a lot of dirt on the way. Now it's not going to be enough to fill up. There's always going to be like a little bump inside, right? Once you've compacted it, so you can never fill up a bar. So you take out the star. If you put it back, it's not going to do the job. That's one pshat. Inami, another pshat. Something that's causing harm can never be the thing that does the heals. The Yetzer Hara doesn't become your Melech type. The accuser can't become the defendant. That's what it means. So the 2 stars, the accusers, the world was destroyed because of it. Now they can't be the ones to go ahead and save the world, right? So gemorah says, okay, it's very good. So make another 2 stars. You know, okay, you don't want to use those 2. So bring another 2 stars. Why do you take it from the other constellation? There's nothing new under the sun. There's a few principles here. So Amr of Nachman also goes brochod, and in the end, Hashem, the end of days, Hashem will bring it back. Hashem will bring these 2 stars back. There's a few principles we see in this gemorah. First of all, the Ein Kachad Shtachas Hashem. Hashem will not and does not create. Even in the time of Noach, open miracles are happening. He doesn't create anything new. Anything new is created in the first 6 days of Bria. After that, everything we have is just old stuff regurgitated, fixed up, chopped and changed. There's nothing new created. You can't just create anything new. Hashem doesn't create anything new, nothing new. You'll never see in Tanakh any miracle that something new is created. See that in the gemorah. Hashem just takes what is already, we'll move it around. He'll take stuff from here. And the other thing is, you see that Kodesh Baruch Hu runs the world, Kamashef Shar. Sometimes it doesn't look like it, but there's always some type of natural way that things happen. Hashem didn't just do, okay, marble, the rain starts coming. He has to take stars out from here. There's a seder, there's a way to do it. Even for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, create the world with systems in place. That you want to destroy the world, you've got to take out stars from inside the place in order for the rain to come. And then you've got to fill up this, put other stars there to block it. It's not just like Hashem says, oh, of course Hashem could do anything, but that's the way Hashem set up the world, is that everything happens with some type of natural, even though it's supernatural, there's supernatural systems, however you want to call it. It's not a natural system, but it's some type of supernatural system that's the way Hashem runs the world. Okay, we'll keep going. We're in the last narrow line. Now we're back to reality. Back to, not reality, chas v'shalom, we're back to halacha. Vala's voice. What is voice? My voice. Rav Katina, says Rav Katina, gua. Earthquake. If you see an earthquake, you feel an earthquake. I don't think you see an earthquake, you feel an earthquake, right? If you feel an earthquake, you make a brochod. So, story time. Rav Katina v'kaza brochod, Rav Katina was going down the road. Kimata pischa debei uvatamya. When he passed by the house of this Oiv, Baal Oiv, someone that talks to the dead, he brings up the dead, he starts asking questions. Tamya, I guess if he's Tomei, Rashi says he would bring the dead bones to ask questions of the dead, right? So he passed by this Baal Oiv, he used to use dead bones to speak to the dead and find out stuff. Gonach Goya. So all of a sudden he passed by this guy's house and boom, earthquake. A real big one. Gonach, it was a strong earthquake. Oma, so he said jokingly, Miyoda Uba Tami, does this Baal Oiv, does this, what's it called? Sorcerer. Miyoda Uba Tami Haigo Mau, does he know why there's earthquakes? Right? Yeah, you think this guy doesn't even know why there's earthquakes, right? He's making fun of him. Romale Kala, Ktina, so he heard. So this guy screams out from his house, Ktina! Remember, we're talking about Ktina over here. He says to him, I'll tell you why. What do you mean I don't know? When Hashem remembers his children, he sees Klal Yisrael who is suffering, anti-Semitism, sinner, pogroms, whatever it is, marriage state, demise, he drops 2 tears, liyama godel, into the big sea, and you can hear it from one end of the world to the other. And that creates the earthquake. That's what an earthquake is. It's the tears of God. This guy's a liar and his words are lies. Why? If there was 2 tears coming down from heaven, there'd be 2 earthquakes. And there's only 1 earthquake, right? So it doesn't make any sense. The Gemara says, V'lohi. The Gemara says, no, you know what? He was right. He's right. That's why there's earthquakes. V'lohi gua. V'lohi gua ovid. Really, there are 2 earthquakes. Why wasn't he made him kechi deloi litikul amar basrei? In order that people shouldn't go after this Baal Oiv, this sorcerer. So he laughed at him and made chayzik from what he said, right? Really was true. You see from the principles also that even if someone says something that's true sometimes, and you know they're right, you're supposed to make them sound stupid in order that the people that are listening don't end up following like this Russia. He's doing something that's awesome, mamish. But he's not saying. So it sounds to the gemorah that's the reason why earthquakes happen. In other words, I guess they don't mean technically the tears create the earthquake, but there's some type of Isairis. Hashem, there's the world shaking. The world shaking. Okay, we're gonna have to end over here. We're getting very late. Have a wonderful day. Shkoyach.